Down, da-dee, dee, da-dee, da.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Nice to be back in Illinois here after that run to Vermont to record some music, which I hope to share with you once we get it mixed next month, and it sounds like we want it to sound. Congratulations on your tunes on the D string, including people who don't play the fiddle, using those notes along there. Very exciting to hear that you enjoyed it. And yeah, so when we first came on that idea, as I was saying, I was in Australia one time, and it seemed like a good idea to just cut back on the number of notes and just be able to concentrate in a nice, easy fashion, although it's not that easy to come up with a melody, as I was saying the last time, that's actually likable. But yes, the notes that were available to basically were a D, it's a D sharp, E flat, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, and I heard lots of good stuff. A few people shared, and that's very fun. And you don't need to. I think it's nice to just be in your house and just give something a try, or not. And of course, you could have, and you can try that same idea on different strings, and that's also very enjoyable. Or take that tune and shift it up and down, change speeds on it. Or just try a new tune altogether. And this is a nice activity. So I want to play a tune today that comes from an album that I did some years ago that was called Lake Effect. And the tune is called Sass is Back. And this tune was named Sass is actually a cat. And we had the cat staying with the grandparents at their house, which was 8 miles away from our house. And we were leaving the cat there as we went on actually a gig / vacation. And next thing the cat got out, but yeah, something like 3 weeks later, that cat made it 8 miles back to our house. And a great sound of my daughter who got up in the morning. She must have been like 8, speaking of 8 miles. And just the cry from downstairs, Mom, Dad, Sass is back. And so that's the name of this tune. And so there's no cat sounds in it. Maybe it's a little bit of a lonesome sounding tune, but I'm going to bring up a few things, but I'll play the tune first. I'm going to lower this just a hair. Oh, I don't know how to do this. Yeah. And you can see the fingers, and I don't have to lift it up so high, which I've been trying to do. Still learning this. Here's the tune. It's a reel. So the first part of the tune, you'll see line 1 there, I'm starting off with the C, and when you see C2, it's just holding it as if each note was getting one beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's kind of like. Kind of assuming that everybody knows these ABCs. Maybe they know them better than the old just go ahead and have lines and measures and all of that. But I do see this a lot, so I thought it might be fun to just talk about this tune in this way. So I'm starting on that line 1 again of the first part, just going. The answer to that was. Third line is the same as the first. Oh, maybe the last note changes. So now there's a new line. So again, those first two lines are first first two lines are. Then. And it's funny how just changing this B to an E, like when you're composing a tune, that felt like a little victory to change my mind here and go for something new. So obviously it could have gone da 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 da, and a new answer da 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 da, or whatever. But I really liked where it went. Da 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 da. Plus, I loved the low end of the fiddle, so all of that felt really nice. And so now I'm in the middle of the first part, and I really felt the need after doing those two different things to come back to something that's familiar. And yeah, in Irish music, it's almost like there's so many tunes that you want to come back to a line of melody. So the fifth line in the first part is. So that's the same as the first line, and then. And that's the same as the second line. And then it's a new little melody here, starting with the seventh line. Now, aside from finishing with the last note, or last three notes of line 4, there we go. So there's lots of repeating. And then 7 becomes a new thought, and 8. New thought, old ending. Here we go. Logical. The second part of this tune, well, I'll play it through here and you can look at the notes. For line 1, I'll start there. be my introduction note back to the first part. So I'll just point out one thing there. When I got to this part, I don't know why I had to get away from the low part of my fiddle, and it's a kind of a funny thing. I mean, over here, dum da da dum, that can actually be a triplet. Let's see where I am. Da da da. I'm going to sing it an octave high. Da 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 da. So there's, yeah, I didn't happen to write it in there. Da 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 da. And it could be da 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 D. I'm dropping down with my voice now an octave, but there was a precedent for having a triplet, even though I didn't happen to write it in there. And I thought to myself, does this tune even work when I did that? Does it work? Does it work? So it took a while to kind of decide that this was okay, this da 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 da, and yeah, there's not there's some repeating going on along the way. Da 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 da. Let's see where that happens again. Da 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 da. Yeah, and you'll notice it doesn't have the same ending as the first part, and for some reason it seems like the tune kind of works. And my own opinion, but I think it kind of works. The other thing that I can say about this tune, Sass is Back, is that the first part of the tune is in an A minor modal kind of a thing. So I'm kind of going like this. And that's like the an A minor-ish kind of a key. And that's the first part. And then the second part of the tune goes into a straight G. And so, like if you see this tune written, you might just see an F sharp, and it'll work for the A minor first part, and it's a C, and it's a C natural also in the key of G, and yeah. So I hope you'll enjoy trying this tune. It's a good thing to try tunes because it always helps the fiddling and the flute playing and the piano playing and everything to just put something new under your fingers. It's surprising how much it helps. Yeah, get your whole thing together. This is also an idea for writing a tune, is to write a tune that is in two different keys. Maybe some of your favorite tunes might be in two different keys. Do a little bit of exploring, but maybe I would say now that I could challenge you to see what you could do with a tune in a first part in one key and a second part in another key, but also do some exploring about which tunes are maybe favorites of yours that do exactly that. And while I'm at it, I'm going to, I'll put this tune in there as a PDF, and I'd also like to, I'll put in the recording or a link to the recording of Sass is Back, which again was on Lake Effect. That track had Jim Dewan on the guitar. Jim lives in Chicago, great friend. And it also had Kieran O'Hare, a great piper and flute and tin whistle player, who did some backing up on the tin whistles. There's a tune before it, so it's the track that starts with the ornery upright, and then it goes into Sass is Back. Again, there's a lot of tunes that are out there, and I think maybe, that old thing about knowledge is power. It's a good thing to go ahead and learn as many tunes as you can, because I think playing good tunes and finding them only helps your own tune writing. It doesn't mean you'll run into more tunes when you write a tune. I think it means that you have more. You have more that you know, and then more to give. So one other thing that I'm going to leave on the site, on this post, is a page from O'Neill's 1001. And let me see again which page oh, right. So page 116, take a look at it. It starts with Julia Delaney. Only it's not the Julia Delaney style, and in some cases, it's not even the key signature that we're used to. It's treated in a different way. So I would love to talk about this tune the next time. So I'd say a lot of you already know Julia Delaney, and maybe check out this version. This page 116 involves Julia Delaney at the top and the Maids of Mitchelltown at the bottom. And I'm going to suggest to you that you play each tune and run it right into the next tune. Not so easy to do. I was just trying to do it. And it's especially difficult for tunes you already know, that back in 1903 or whatever it is, or 7, when this book came out, this was a chosen version. These were chosen versions to go into the Book of Tunes, but it's very exciting to go along. This page has tunes like The Collier's Reel, The Pigeon on the Gate, Lord Macdonald's, like The Maids of Mitchellstown, which we all know and love, and a couple of outliers, kind of a little bit. One of them sounds Scottish to me. It's this page, and I invite you to give it a go. Grab your instrument, head all the way down the page, and see what happens to you. Love to hear about it. All right, you guys, good luck, and I'll put all this stuff up for you. Cheers.